Hi everyone, welcome to Starlight Activation. I am Anthony and we do have a lot to unpack. Okay, if you're watching these in the order that I'm placing them on the channel, congratulations, you're doing it in the right order. The last video we had, which was, I think I'd called it divine or something else, or spiritual or something else. It's because I felt like I was lost spiritually for a while. And for me, a while can be anywhere from 3 days to a week or something. It has been a week since I made the video. And I know I was undergoing this doubt days before that, and even some cases up to a month. And remember, all of this really revolved around my third eye visions that I was receiving about this individual that was coming forward, that I was prepped to know was going to be a kingdom spouse coming in to align with me. And when I initiated contact on my dating app with the very person that I had seen in my vision, and I had multiple visions, I read his energy signature in his response, and it was a one-word response to a question I asked him. And well, at first it wasn't even a question. I just asked him, may I ask him a question? And I got a one-word response. And I read his energy signature, and I knew he could not be a kingdom spouse. He did not have the capacity to be at my level, and I would be sacrificing my spirituality and my future happiness based if I even thought about considering being with this person. And the feeling was so horrible that very day that I got his one word reply, I went into prayer meditation. I went straight to Archangel Michael, and I explained the situation. I said, this person could not be a kingdom spouse. I don't know how and why I was sent this it wasn't the same vision. It was different visions always. So it's not like it was on repeat or something. It was always something different. And I was really confused, but I did block him. I blocked his energy signature because once I believe he astral planed to me more than one time, I think twice while I was on layover. I felt him on my layover. I felt him physically place his arm on me. I mean, I'm talking, this was really high level third eye visions. And so it did not sync well with my 3D brain that anything else was going on other than the fact, could I be misreading signs? Could I be listening to channeled messages and automatically filling in the blanks to make everything fit when maybe it doesn't fit? So it caused a complete upheaval is the easiest way to say it, but just an upheaval in my faith journey right as I was going through it. And it made me think, okay, what if, and the reason why I titled that video spiritual or something else, I think that's what it was exactly, is what if it's not spiritual? What if I'm being messed with? What if I'm being tested? What if, I mean, the what ifs were just amazing. And I mean, I told you guys in that video that I spoke with my guides over 3 different prayer meditations out in my favorite park, and never had an answer from them. Never got an answer as to why I was receiving these messages. It was very, very quiet. Everything went quiet. And it felt like, not as bad, but when you watch, if you've watched the video already about the dark night of the soul, remember how I told you in that video how that felt? I felt abandoned in that video. And then we had a crisis of faith, which was another version of it. And then we have this one, which is even a third version of when you're going through your faith process and you're trying to, when you don't have the answers, you're trying to navigate the waters as best you can. And that's the only thing, that's going to say to you that's going to make sense. A lot of times you are going solely by faith. And it's something I talked about last night in my prayer session with my guides last night. I went out to the park last night, and I was like, a lot of times it's like I'm stepping on a cloud, and I'm hoping that cloud has a foundation. Because if it doesn't, that means I fall to the earth. but hopefully I'm stepping on something that will hold me and keep me going, keep me elevating. So it caused for me to just not only question the visions, and it caused me to question, okay, maybe I need to pull back from my general channeled messages that I'm listening to that go to the collective, just the entire collective. And just, oh gosh, they're with me. My angels are with me. I can tell when they're with me because my nose starts itching in one spot. And just start listening to the ones for my sign. Because when they do a collective message to your sign, it's way more tailored in. Okay, I can tell you right now, I pulled back from all of the generals, and I just started watching three that I like that do a sign specific, or one, which is, I think it's Secret Shaman Oracle. Oh gosh, if I remember, I'll put it in the description of the video. Well, she pulls you in by your sign, but she does one of the most in-depth readings I've ever had. I mean, she covers her entire table with cards, and she relates every card to another card or to something that Spirit is telling her. She'll want to get the message out, and then she pulls a card that says exactly the same thing. I've never seen someone who's so spot on as how she does hers. I'm sorry, I can't remember her first name. I hope I remember to put it in the video. But it's Secret Shaman Oracle is her channel on YouTube, and I believe she's one of the ones that she may be listed on my channel, a video of YouTubers that I listen to. So what I had done was I pulled back from the ones. I kind of had withdrawal. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of had withdrawal. So I pulled back, and I had 2 trips. So I had a 3-day trip, 1 day off where I was home and I just slept, and then another 3-day trip. So I've had 2 trips back to back with just 1 day off in the middle, and that ended yesterday. So I'm really tired today. I had to work on the tanks. And I wanted to get this video out because it was fresh in my mind, because just 2 days ago, I've got my notes. 2 days ago is when I had my breakthrough. The breakthrough started on this last trip I was just on. On day 1, there was a bathtub, and I've told you guys again and again, water is an excellent conduit. Whenever I did my grounding work, what was happening? It was raining. I was out in the rain. Water's a great conduit. And I had a beautiful experience doing my grounding work, and I really felt it. I can still feel my feet grounded to the earth when I sit down. It's just amazing to feel that closeness to Gaia and to Mother Earth. So I played some Hertz music that resonated with me, like a tune. I always go for a tune that I like. And I was in the tub, and I was trying to talk through. I was trying to perform a prayer meditation session in the tub, and I was just really sleepy. And which is common because we have long flights. You know, we don't fly just 1 flight usually. Sometimes it's 3 flights. And it's a very, very long day. Our days can be 16 hours long. And I was kind of thinking about something, and I couldn't get out of my head. Why were the visions incorrect? And I thought it's because maybe I was being messed with, like I said. And so I went in and I started talking to Archangel Michael to block if there's any known or unknown dark force that's trying to mess me up right now. And I knew it didn't do any good because I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel anything when doing it. And then I thought, okay, I was just trying to think on the fly there about what else could I bring up. And I'm talking out loud while I'm in the tub, and I'm like, you know, my current husband, I had a vision when I met him that told me I was supposed to marry him, and it came twice to me. The first time I locked eyes on him, and the first time he kissed me. Same vision both times. So I never doubted marrying the individual. And look what it turned out. 8 years later, I'll be getting a divorce. He breadcrumbed. He wanted a green card. He wanted money. He never had any intention of providing anything to me that a husband would. Someone that nurtures you as well. No, he was always in his ego. And I said, out loud, I said this. Well, if talking about Robert, the one I was getting the visions on, if Robert was a test, that means I passed it. Because, and I said it just like this, my intuition told me he could not be a kingdom spouse. And I stopped right then and I thought, my intuition told me he could not be my kingdom spouse. I went straight into prayer meditation that day. I went straight to Archangel Michael and the Divine. And I talked it out. And I said, this can't be him. And I was mad at the time. I was like, no, this can't be it. This is not it. This is not him. This couldn't be him. And blocked him. And then I said out loud, if I pass the test with Robert, that means I failed the test with my current husband. Because I didn't question it. I did not question my third eye vision. I didn't seek out additional information to see if he was authentic. I believed the veil that he was putting in front of him. Because I'm going to say it just like this. The person that courted me is not the one who moved in when we were married. That was a devil-like energy. And I can tell you exactly from 100% experience, that's what it was. On an ongoing basis, there was no affection. We never, ever consummated our marriage. Because I know in my heart, he was never interested in me. He wanted his green card. When he got his green card, he was gone 2 weeks later, living his best life out there. So what that jolt hit me, and I had been complaining about another one, an ex I'd had more than 15 years ago, that once I ended the relationship, and now remember, you guys remember, there's a video I talked about where as an infant, I knew that I was abandoned. I was never going to be abandoned again. I have left every one of my relationships. I am never the one being left. And I'm not saying that to be all that. I'm telling you that it was self-preservation. I left because if I left on my terms, no matter what I had to give up, I kept myself instead of compromising, instead of falling into an even worse level that I was already in to get me to leave in the first place. So every relationship I left, and I planned my escapes and got out, and then had to work through the dark process of who gets what, and who owes this person what, and who keeps what, and all that kind of crap. And to me, that's worth it to keep my sanity and to keep me whole and centered. So in this particular time, now this is before we could get married as gays and lesbians, I had the house was in my name. I bought the house I was living in that we shared. And we broke up. We split everything. He moved out of state. Within a month, my house was robbed. My car was stolen. And my identity was stolen, and it was by him. I have confirmation. But guess what? Because we lived together, I couldn't seek any retribution as far as a theft, because we knowingly shared a residence, and the law did not protect me. That's one of the reasons why people can get married. Then you have protection. Okay, well, no, we don't have protection because we were a same-sex couple. Well, so I lost everything, and that individual is still living their best life, having a house on both coasts, and remodeling both of them, and putting it all on Facebook for everybody to see. And it really irritated me so bad, I gave up my Facebook page, which was attached to my aquascaping page, because I never wanted to see him again online. And so I pulled myself off. Seeing him online triggered me, and that's when I really started getting very upset with my angels and the divine, because here's someone for the past 15 years that has been able to live their best life, and why was I stuck and struggling? Why was I in a relationship that I had to move out of the state and leave another home to save myself and come into Texas? And I could not rationalize where the harmony and balance in the universe is. And I don't know why this stuck with me, but for some reason, and it may be because I'm a Sirian Starseed, I've pulled up the characteristics, it's one of them, that and aesthetics, that we're heavily into that. And I couldn't get past. I said, I believe in harmony and balance, that you can't do something this evil to someone and it not balance out at some point. I'm waiting 15 years since that happened and it still hasn't happened. So I had that issue, the fact that I thought I was being tested by Robert, and that kind of pissed me off, I'm going to be honest. And I let my guides know about it, that why did I have to be tested like that? And then it gave me the realization that I failed in my duty to protect myself. And I believed the illusion that my current husband was feeding me when it was all just a big web of lies. And then I felt really, really stupid that I didn't even fact check anything he told me in the beginning. And if I'd had my eyes open, I would have seen what would have prompted me to back off. It would have been so easy just to back off. But I didn't. I flew forward with it because I believed in my intuition and I believed in my third eye vision. And I didn't question it. So my whole point about this video is, yes, you do question. You can question something. If it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't resonate with you, don't go along with it just because you think you have to. No, I can tell you wholeheartedly from the conversations that I have with my guides, which I end up having to apologize many, many, many times for the things I say to them. But they know how I am. They know me because they know me better than I know myself. I know that I know all my guides. I know the divine. I know all of them because we have been together for the span of time. Because I've lived lives before and I've been a guide myself before. So I know when I signed up for this mission, I was going to have help. It's just that I chose to come into this 3D life as blind, sort of speaking, to where I wouldn't know anything. So I would work through the ego and work the steps. I wish I had done it a little faster. I'm just going to say that. And it had more self-respect for myself. But it all goes back to that abandonment of my birth mother, my birth father, my adopted parents returning me twice, the grandmother that did not want me, everyone that was around me. My first 5 years definitely all had a weird way of showing their love to me because I was constantly being tossed around. And to the point where my mom burned everything of mine when they returned me the second time because of the drama that my birth mother was, kicking around. And when they returned me, she just burned everything. There's nothing that exists for me before 5 years old. My life began at 5 years old. But I can tell you, the trauma before that is heavy, heavy, heavy on that poor child. And so I've gone back and I have apologized to my infant and my small child that I was sorry that I did not stand up enough for them and that I protect them now. So when those feelings pop up now, I don't let them affect me. I've asked to have all that released, which is one thing that I love about, it's just like I told you guys, whenever I do one of these videos, if it's something that I have to talk about that's distressing, it doesn't bother me, I just talk about it, do it, and then it leaves my mind after that. I mean, it's gone. I have a really hard time figuring out what previous videos were because I forget about them. It's like I'm given a clean slate. It's just like, and I think I've said this before in a video, where when I used to be a mouthpiece channeler for the divine's messages during worship services, I never knew what I was saying. I never knew what the people were asking me. I never knew what guidance I was giving. The divine spoke, I said it, came out my mouth, and then it was gone. Because that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm not supposed to know someone's deepest, innermost thoughts and feelings and things like that. But I needed to be there to deliver the message. So as I'm having that bath that night, it was the following night where I had the shaman video, and I thought, okay, I won't watch the ones that I would have normally watched while I was on my layover. I thought, the secret shaman, hers was my sign. And I wrote the first thing down. It's just 3 little notes. We're going to go over them because it's just, oh my God. I'm never, ever not continuously surprised in divine timing. I'm just going to say that right now. First thing, there are things called artificial timelines. You should have seen me shoot up out of bed when she said that. That these timelines are created. Yes, they are to test your resolve. Yes, they are to see if you're paying attention. Yes, they are to see that, okay, is this really legit? Do you need to check this out? Okay, hello, there you go. Really, we could stop right there. I really could stop with that one right there. That my husband was a test that I failed, and I'm still paying for that one. And that this latest one was a test that I passed. And so my angels are very, very happy now because I did pass this test. And then the third thing I wrote down here was that she said my intuition is very strong. And I can tell you that when my intuition comes in now, it doesn't let me ignore it. It used to let me ignore it. I could bypass it. I could say, oh, no, not really. No, not now it does it. It's taken on a life of its own. Or like a kind of like, yeah, like a life of its own, like its own entity, you know? Here's 2 things that really spoke to me, and I laugh about it because I just couldn't believe when I was writing this down. Things are not meant to be understood. Okay, because I was constantly saying, why? I don't understand this. I don't understand this. Blah, blah. That's what I would say constantly. And with some choice other words thrown in there, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Things are upside down. That's exactly how she said it. And I'm like, oh my God. So I stopped and I was like, that's how this has felt. It's been topsy-turvy. It's been chaos. It's been like, okay, what I thought I knew was not what I know. And everything is upside down because I've had all these messages, but downloads, and it meant nothing. Okay, I think she even said, I don't know if I have it down here later, that it was a dry run. I remember her saying that. This could have been a dry run to make sure you're going to pay attention when the person really shows up. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Okay, here's a good one. Speak and think positively. Do not dwell in the negative. Don't let the negative dwell inside you. It will bring your vibration down. So what you want to do what I do. Acknowledge it, release it. Let it go bye-bye. Give it back to the universe. I've showed you guys before on videos of how I do it. It's so super easy. The one thing they're super, super happy about, and I don't know really what it is. I've never been told what it is, but I have cleared ancestral karma for the family I was adopted into. And I think it's because I know my family's history on both sides, my mom and my dad's. I think I've said this before. They were migrant farm workers and they were farm workers and they lost everything. They had nothing. I think my dad, out of 12 children, was probably one of the most successful because he ended up working for AT&T as a cable spliceman. And so we always had a brick house. No, some of you guys are going to laugh at that. But, you know, other people didn't. And they saw brick house meant money. We had a brick house with a fireplace. We had air conditioning. So, which seems like pretty normal for today, but in the group that he grew up with, that was not. So they kind of thought that he might have been ranked that way, but no, he's just lucky. My parents are lucky they lived in a different time where inflation wasn't what it is now, because we'd been homeless. There's no way they could have had 3 kids on the salary my dad made. Oh, here we go. Okay. Something was going on. Now, I wrote these down verbatim. Something was going on that was out of my control, and Spirit doesn't want me to blame myself and get rid of the guilt. Quit blaming. I walk with divine protection. Because I did think I did something wrong by contacting the guy on my dating app. I thought, oh, maybe I screwed it up because he was supposed to contact me, and I contacted him instead. And then I thought, okay, well, I thought I must have done something wrong because my timeline was off. No, let's go back to the first thing. There are artificial timelines and there are tests. You're not done with it all the time. It also says on here, there will be no compromising. There's no reason for me to compromise. And to choose what's my highest and my best. I denied the invitation of something. Okay, I denied Robert. I as soon as I read his energy and I knew he couldn't be it, that's when I went into the thing and I said, hey, let's block him. So I did. I denied that invitation. That's a good thing though, because that's something that helped me progress. I don't know if that has anything to do with the karma that I was born into this family. I still don't know how I cleared it. No one has ever given me that information and I gave up asking. I think it's because maybe there's something that's coming forward that I can't foresee yet. That maybe is something that has been blocked in my family and I'm going to be the first person to achieve it. I don't know. Who knows what that is? Let's see. Okay, I was laying in bed. I'm having a hard time reading my handwriting. The unseen realm is guiding me to trust in the unseen of my power. Okay. I probably should have wrote more about that. Embrace the calm, the clarity, and the peace. Oh, okay, so I was told I feel deeply for a reason. I've talked about that many, many times in my prayer meditations. I radiate like a starlight. Okay, so I resonate with that because I think I am a Sirian Starseed. I am holding onto my new timeline due to lifelong karma from the ancestral line being broken. Okay, let me make sure I understand that. Okay, so I'm on a new timeline due to my lifelong karma from an ancestral line has been broken. Okay, now I get it. All right, so I was trying to work cursive and it was a piece of pad, so I was having a hard time. Deception surrounded me. I did not give in. You're right. I did not give in. I just got mad. I bitched about it. And then I told everybody I was done. I guess that's my go-to is I tell them all I'm done. I'm not going to do any more videos. Like that's really going to care. They're going to care. 3 people watch these videos? I actually brought that up. I was like, okay, one of the nights I was mad, I was like, look, okay, they are so messing with me right now. I was like, look, no, I'm going to say this anyway. Look, you made me start this channel that no one's watching. I really got irritated about that. But your guys' videos are so easy to do compared to the aquascaping ones. Okay, so the path ahead is illuminated. Follow the light as I am the illuminated one. It's a magical journey is about to begin, or a magical journey is about to begin. Creative energy is in full bloom. Empress energy. Now, yes, remember in the Tarot, you are neither male nor female. You embody both. It depends on, at that moment, the energy that you're into. I say it's because in aquascaping, I'm always birthing something. I'm always creating. Here, I'm always creating in this channel. So I always say I'm more in the Empress energy. But yeah, I can get into my Emperor. I was in my Emperor energy whenever I'm like arguing with my guides out there. A hidden power is awakening. Now this I can't wait for. Oh my God, I cannot. Oh, embrace it. My handwriting's so bad. My handwriting's like my mom's. Sacred place may be revealed one time. Okay. Hidden power is awakening. Embrace a sacred place. It may be revealed in time. Oh, quantum timeline correction. Pulled away from a path of struggle into the one of divine protection. Okay, so if Robert was a test, it was the path I was not supposed to be on anyway. So that makes sense. And on the last one, there's an unexpected gift is coming forward. I should be doing more playtime things because I'm a hermit when I'm at home. I like being a hermit. Okay, here's my spirit card. This one just really freaked me out. Spirit says you do not need to know all the answers. Well, Anthony says yes. The scroll is unfolding. Don't try and figure it all out. Sorry, that's my nature. Magic is re-entering my life. The divine sees what I don't see. I do not need all the answers. Don't try to figure it out. It will only stall me. Okay. So now, this was... Oh, shoot, I didn't put the time. So this must have been like 5 o'clock or so in the evening because I have a note down here. I woke up at 10 p.m. on the dot. I woke up with the Divine and Archangel Michael in my hotel room. Now, the Divine was nothing but beautiful light. Like, how to say this? Like if the light is a column, it's not solid. It's beautiful, not orbs. It's beautiful like stretches of light that come out at different points, but it's all one. So I've never felt like there's just one God. I felt like there is a collective, and I feel like God is a collective. Because how else could they monitor all the timelines of all the people that are, that they're watching just on Earth? And so to me, that's the information I was getting as well, that the collective was there. God, the collective was there. Spirit, the collective was there. Divine, the collective was there. Whatever word you use. And then Archangel Michael was there. And it is very, very difficult to me. The only thing I could put down was it was amazing. The feeling that I had. It's like I had the breakthrough, watched the video, did my prayer session afterwards, went to sleep. And during the night, I woke up and they were both there with me. And when I woke up, it was just like acknowledgement that everything, I had no questions. For once in my life, I was just basking in the glow of the divine. And that's when I had confirmation again that my light is of the divine. We are all of the light, and it's the same light. The divine's in all of us. And yes, I could see Michael there, but I've had visions with Michael before. But I feel a very closeness with Michael. I know we must have a relationship that I don't understand yet because it hasn't been, shown to me. But for some reason, I always lash out at Michael first because I place so much trust into Michael as far as my protection goes. And then anything I really need to happen, I go to Michael immediately and say something. So I know that in other prayer manifestations I've had or prayer meditations, I will say something specifically to Michael because that's what my intuition tells me to. So I've told Michael before, I know we know each other. I know we have a massive history together. It's just that he knows everything and I know nothing. I only know what my intuition's telling me and what I feel. So I know there's a feeling that I know everyone that I'm working with, every single one of them. And but when I woke up, it was just, there was just beautiful brightness in the room. And I forgot to tell you this, but I had left the Hertz music on and on a sleep timer. So I had fallen asleep to music. I think I had left it on for 3 hours. So I'd fallen asleep to music. And this could have been as a direct result why I had a visitation just 4 or so hours after I know I had went to bed, because I know that was around 7 p.m. I think that was like, yeah, it was something right at that same time frame. So I was like, I was trying to kind of piece this together afterwards so I wouldn't forget. So when we got to the video, you guys would understand what I was talking about. So it's really lovely. I still told them I'm not going to listen to the general messages any longer, because I feel like I don't want to be confused by, do I have that, or is that me, or are they talking about me, or is that not me? I'm going to stick to my pick a card. I think I told you this on the last video. I love to pick a card because you picked the card, and if that you picked it because your intuition, that's your card. And then I do the ones on the collective for my sign. But let me tell you this right now. The collective on my sign just backs up everything of the last messages I've been listening to for the last 6 months about what's coming forward. And I believe it all has something to do with when we enter into January. So I'm back on track. And as a matter of fact, this trip wasn't as rosy as a lot of my normal trips are. And so I would just be questioning, like, while I was in the plane and we were having, this horrible turbulence. And I'm like, okay, what's the point in me sitting here and having all this turbulence? What's going on? And it's just, I don't know. They must, I know that when it comes out in a reading, they say there's a really feisty Lightworker. I know it's me, because I'm the one who's like challenging everything they say. I just challenge everything, and I'm trying to be better about that. I'm trying to just be, take it, blind faith, whatever. But our little ego gets in the way. The ego that we want to figure things out. So I just said, look, whatever happens, happens. That was a test. I passed it. Thank God I passed it. And when I say thank God, I mean literally that. Thank God I passed it. And I know that things will end well with my current relationship. It's going to end well. Not that we'll be friends or anything like that. I just know it's not going to get nasty. And because I have that feeling that it's going to be okay. And I'm looking forward to, I'm doing my thing. I'm here doing a video. If no one's watching it, that's okay, because one of you is watching it, and that's all it has to be out there. It just has to reach one person, and that's it. And I worked on my tanks today, which is like my therapy. So anyway, I hope this resonates with you. And sorry I got you all riled up in my drama the last time, but hey, that's life. You may go through the very same thing I've just gone through, and at least you'll have a better understanding of what's happening. So until either you see me up in the air as your flight attendant, and I'll be the talking one that's making everyone laugh, you never know, could be, it's holiday season still, or on the next video upload, I'm wishing you guys nothing but light and love, and I'll see you later.